A very good morning to my dear students. Once again welcome back to 8th grade English class. In the last class we had discussed and completed the 4th chapter from your workbook, and today we are actually going to discuss the exercises that are included in chapter number 5 in your workbook. Okay, so all these things we were discussed and learned from the course book. So anyway, all these additional exercises are only for your better understanding of the same topic or content. Okay, anyway, today we can actually go to discuss the exercises that are given in chapter 5. So for that, all of you please take page number 56. So the main thing which is discussed here is present participle. Okay, present participle. Okay, so first of all you have to know what a present participle is. See, look at this word come. When we add ing to the root verb come, we get its present participle form. So coming is actually the present participle form of come. So in that way we can say that going, taking, teaching, learning, walking, singing, running, driving are all examples of present participle, are examples of present participles. Okay, so this is actually what you mean by a present participle is. The ing form of a verb is known as present participle. Okay, and now you have to know three categories. So I am going to write the three categories mentioned here. So you have to know what are those three categories. First one, finite. The second one is non-finite. The third one is infinitive. So the first one finite, the second one non-finite, the third one infinitive. Okay, so here we can say that verbs having present and past forms, verbs having present and past forms can be taken as the examples of finite verbs. Okay, verbs having present and past forms can be taken as the examples of finite verbs. Example, yeah, see, takes, then is taking, then took. So all these can be taken as can be addressed as finite verbs. Then the second one is non-finite. We can say that the ing form and the ing form and the ed forms can be taken as the examples of non-finite verbs. Okay, ing and ed forms. So these words can be taken as the examples of non-finite verbs. Okay, so in a broader sense we can say that verbs with tense are known as finite verbs, and verbs without tense are known as non-finite forms. Okay, so these you have to know as the primary things before getting started with this chapter. Okay, now we can, so I hope that you got an idea about what are finite verbs, what are finite verbs, then what are non-finite verbs, then we forgot to speak about infinitive verbs. Infinitive verb means the 2 plus form of the verbs are known as infinitive forms, like to fetch, to come, to collect, etc. Okay, so they are known as infinitive forms. Okay, so in order to know all the things in a very detailed manner, you have to know, you have a very thorough knowledge about finite verbs, non-finite verbs and infinitive verbs. So finite verbs are known as verbs having present or past forms. That means verbs with tenses are known as finite verbs, and words without tenses are known as non-finite verbs. In other words, we can say that words in ing or ed forms can be said as an examples of non-finite verbs. Then the infinitive forms, that means 2 plus base form of the verb can be taken as the examples of infinitive verbs. Okay, so anyway, you have to know all these things. Now we are actually going to discuss the same thing with the use of an example. Okay, for that let me to write an example on the blackboard. So look at this example. Dr. Jayanth Narlikar, Dr. Jayanth Narlikar is visiting the school next month. Okay, then look at the next example. Dr. Jayanth Narlikar visiting the school next month. Okay, so look at these examples. Look at the first example. Dr. Jayanth Narlikar is visiting. So is visiting is actually, look at the first sentence. Dr. Jayanth is known as the subject, and sorry, Dr. Jayanth Narlikar is known as the subject in this sentence, and is visiting the school next month is known as the predicate in the sentence. And look at the next example. Dr. Jayanth Narlikar is actually the subject, but visiting the school next month is not an example of a predicate. Why? Because is visiting is actually the example. Is visiting is actually here what? Yeah, finite verb. Is visiting is actually finite verb. Here we have a finite verb. So that is what it forms as the predicate of this sentence. But here we do not have a finite verb, but visiting is a non-finite verb. Yeah, just before we discussed that, yeah, ing form verbs or words in ing form, verbs in ing form and ed are said to be examples of non-finite verbs. So visiting is here actually non-finite form of verb. So it cannot form as a predicate. Okay, because visiting is actually the non-finite form of the verb, so it cannot form as a predicate. But here is visiting is actually an example of finite verb, so it can form as a predicate. Okay, so this you have to learn. Okay. So, now we can go to discuss some uses of present participle. Okay. So, now we are actually going to discuss the uses of present participle. So, present participle can be used as adjectives, that is the first use. Okay. Present participles can be used as adjectives. Okay, look at this example. He saw a sleeping cat yesterday. He saw a sleeping cat yesterday. Look at the word sleeping. Sleeping is actually a present participle because it is the ing form of the verb sleep. Okay, it is the ing form of the verb sleep. So, it is actually an example of present participle. So, this present participle is used as an adjective. See, this sleeping is used in order to qualify what? In order to qualify cat. So, this sleeping is used in order to qualify cat. So, we can say that it is an adjective. It is qualifying the noun called cat here. So, in that way, a present participle can be used as adjectives in a sentence. Did you get me? Now, we can go to discuss the second example. So, let me to write the second example. Look at the second example. Don't try to catch a running bus. Again, look at this example. Don't try to catch a running bus. So, here running is an example of present participle because it is ing form of the verb run. So, we can undoubtedly say that it is an example of present participle, and this present participle is used in an adjectival sense. In an adjectival sense, that means it is used here to qualify the bus. What kind of a bus is that? The running bus. So, this present participle is used in an is used as an adjective in order to qualify the noun that is used here. Okay. So, the first use of present participle is as adjectives. Okay. Now, I hope that you got a clear idea. Okay. Now, we can go to discuss the second use of present participles. Okay. So, shall I rub it? The second use of present participle is that it can be used as subject complement. What? It can be used as subject complement. Okay. Please look at this. Look at this example. The continuous attempt to pass the examination was inspiring. Okay. The continuous attempt to pass the examination was inspiring. So, look at this example. Here we have a present participle. Can you spot what is the present participle used here? Yeah, very good. Inspiring. Okay. So, this inspiring is actually a subject complement. Did you get anything? This present. So, we do not have any doubt regarding inspiring is actually an example of present participle. So, now it is said that here inspiring or inspiring is actually an example of present participle, and this present participle is used as a subject complement. What do you mean by that? Okay, see, I can explain it very clearly so that you will be able to understand it. So here, inspiring is used as an adjective. Inspiring is used as an adjective. Inspiring is qualifying here what? Yeah, the continuous attempt. So the continuous attempt is actually the subject. The continuous attempt is actually the subject here, and inspiring is used to qualify this subject. What was really inspiring? The continuous attempt was really inspiring. So, inspiring, this present participle is used here as in an adjective sense. That means it is used here to qualify the subject, but here it is used in a subject complement. It is used as a subject complement. What do you mean by that? Yeah, listen. The continuous attempt to pass the examination was inspiring. Now, what a complement is? Look at, take this part. The examination was inspiring. The examination was inspiring. The examination was inspiring is actually a clause. What do you mean by a clause? A clause means it has a subject and a verb. Here we have a subject, the examination, and a verb, was. So, it can be said that a clause. It is an example of a clause. And a complement is a part of a clause. Here, inspiring. So, the examination is subject and was is verb. So, anything that has a subject and a verb can be said as an example of a clause. So, here we have a subject and a verb. So, it is an example of a clause. So, complement is a part of a clause. So, inspiring is actually the complement here. Inspiring is a complement here. That means it is actually the part of a clause. So, this is actually a part of the clause. So, the clause is the examination was inspiring, and this inspiring is actually the part of this clause, and which follows the verb. Okay, inspiring is actually a part of this clause and following the verb. What is the verb here? Was is the verb. So, inspiring is followed by what? Was. So, it is actually a part of a clause following the verb. It is followed by this verb, and it gives additional information about the subject or object. Subject or object. Here, it gives additional information about the subject. It is said to be a complement. Okay. So, listen, a complement is actually a part of a clause. The examination was inspiring is a clause because it has a subject and a verb. So, inspiring is actually a part of this clause following the verb. It appears after the verb was, and it gives additional information about the subject. So, we can say that it is a complement because it is a part of a clause after the verb which gives additional information about the subject. So, in that way, this ing form of the verb, that means this present participle, used as a subject complement here. So, a present participle can sometimes used as a subject complement. Okay. I hope that you got the idea. So, we have one more example from the textbook itself. I mean the workbook itself. The long walk to fetch water was tiring. Okay. That example was explained when I took the same portion days ago. Okay. Anyway, you have to know one more thing, that this is actually the linking verb. Okay. To pass is actually the linking verb. Here the continuous attempt and the examination was inspiring. These are actually connected with this verb. So, it can be said as the linking verb. Okay, anyway, I hope that you got an idea. So, now we can go to the third use of present participle. This is actually the, I forgot to mark here, this is actually the second usage. So, now we can go to the third use of present participle as mentioned in the textbook or in the workbook. Okay. So, the third one is actually a present participle can be used as adjectival phrase. What it is? Present participle can be used as adjectival phrase. Okay. So, we can explain it with one example. So, take, so please look at this example. Look at this example. The man driving the car was my class teacher. So, the boy or the girl after a long time happened to see his previous class teacher while he was driving the car. So, he or she said that the man driving the car was my class teacher. Okay. Here also we have a present participle, driving. Driving is actually the ing form of drive. So, we can undoubtedly say that it is an example of a present participle. It is an example of a present participle. Now, look at the example here. The man driving the car was my class teacher. Okay. So, here the driving is actually the present participle and it is used to qualify the man here. Who was actually driving when the boy looked at the teacher? The man was driving or the teacher was driving. So, driving, this present participle is used here to qualify the man. So, in that way we can say that this present participle is used in an adjective sense in order to qualify the man. Then how it becomes an example of adjectival phrase? The present participle used here means the driving. The present participle used here is driving. So, this driving or this present participle helps to form or to create the adjectival phrase to qualify the noun, the man here. So, in that way we can say that a present participle can also be used as an adjectival phrase. So, here this driving helps us to form or create the adjectival phrase called driving the car, and which is used here to qualify the noun, the man. So, in that way we can say that present participle can sometimes be used as adjectival phrase. So, these are the things you have to note with regard to the grammatical items. So, now please take page number 57. Look at the first one. Make sentences from these words and phrases. The first one has been done for you. Look at the first one. 4 people, they are delays traveling to work this morning. So, in that way we have only some phrases or words. So, you have to redirect those phrases and words into a meaningful sentence. So, how the sentence will be? There are delays for people traveling to work this morning. Then how will be the second sentence? Gas cylinders, a truck has overturned carrying on MG road. Okay. A truck carrying gas cylinders has overturned on MG road. In that way we can constitute it as a meaningful unit or meaningful sentence. What about the third one? School buses carrying are caught children in the traffic. How the sentence will be? School buses carrying children are caught in the traffic. So, similarly, you have to complete the remaining sentences also, or you have to convert the remaining sentences also into meaningful sentences. Okay, now please turn over the page and take page number 58. There it is given 2 plus infinitive form. I have already mentioned in the beginning of the class what is the infinitive form. Infinitive form means 2 plus base form of the verb. Look at the words given here in the extra color: to fetch, to escape, to apply. So, all these are examples of infinitive. So, in all these examples, the infinitive forms have different meaning. So, in the first example, the infinitive form has the meaning to show purpose or intention. In the second example, the infinitive form has the meaning to show the result of something. Then in the third one, the infinitive verb has the meaning of showing an action you want or are advised to. So, in the, that means even though we are using those infinitive forms in different situations, it has different meanings. Okay. So, in that way you are able to know even though 2 plus infinitive forms are used, they have different meanings. So, okay, based on that understanding, now you have to look at the 2 plus infinitive forms given in the box in the next item as to catch, to lock, to travel, to go, to risk and to sleep. And there are 6 sentences also. So, you have to choose the right option from the box given above, and you have to you have to complete those 6 sentences. So, what about the first one? Before trains appeared, people chose dash either on foot or in horse drawn carriages. Yeah, before trains appeared, people chose, which will be the correct suitable 2 plus infinitive form. Yeah, people chose to travel. Okay, then what about the next one? Mr. Lal, I want, to catch the 6 a.m. train tomorrow. So, so in that way you have to complete the remaining sentences using the correct or the suitable 2 plus infinitive forms. Okay. Now, you will have another set of exercise. Make 10 sentences from the table using words and phrases from the 4 tables. So, here you will have 4 tables or 4 columns, and in each columns you will have some words or phrases. So, you have to connect those words and phrases, and you have to constitute or construct at least 10 sentences. Look at the first one. Prabhakar wants to play kabaddi. Likewise, Linda has agreed to join the agitation. It is a meaningful sentence. Then class 8 students have refused to participate in the quiz. I am sure that you would not do like that. Anyway, it is only for a sentence. Okay, anyway, in that way you can create your own meaningful sentences using the phrases and words from those 4 columns. Okay, now turn over the page and take page number 60. Complete the passage below using the right phrasal verbs from this box. There are 4 phrasal verbs. So, you have to complete the passage selecting the most suitable phrasal verb. Inspector Shah dashed the report in the drawer with a grim look on his face. Which will be the suitable one? Yeah, Inspector Shah put back the report in the drawer with a grim look on his face. An art gallery wanted him to get back a stolen painting. So, in that way you can complete the remaining portions with the suitable phrasal verb. Then look at the next one. Select suitable words from the box and complete the sentences below. So, you will have 6 sentences and you have to complete those 6 sentences using the correct option from the box. An eel, an oven, a tom, a razor, apples, an ox. Look at the first one. We couldn't stay in the airless room. It was as hot as an oven, because an oven is very hot, you know. So, we couldn't stay in the airless room. It was as hot as an oven. So, likewise you have to complete the remaining 5 sentences also. Then we will have usages of some or any. So, you will have 6 sentences and you have to complete those 6 sentences using the using whichever is suitable, some or either some or any. Look at the first one. I have met dash very interesting people in this village. I have met some interesting, not any, some very interesting people in this village. Then look at the next one. I haven't seen dash good film for weeks now. I haven't seen any good film for weeks now. Okay, so in that way you can complete the remaining sentences also. Now you will have a writing practice. So you will have given a passage, and based on that passage you will have certain questions that follow. So you have to complete, you have to find out the answers for all those questions. So look at the first one. In what way is a star like our own sun? In what way is a star like our own sun? In what way? Stars are huge balls of glowing glasses like the sun. So if you read the passage very well, you will definitely get the answer for all these 6 questions. So it's better to go through the passage in a very good manner, in a thorough manner, and you will be able to write down the answers. Now study this notice. So you will have given a notice here, and the format and everything is clearly all those things can be clearly understood from the notice. And after that, imagine you are the secretary of the science club. Write a notice informing middle school students about a science quiz that your club is organizing shortly. So after going through this notice, based on this question, you have to prepare a notice of your own, and you can write in the space given or provided here. Okay. Now you will have one more writing passage. Use the hints given below and write a story. Here you will have given some hints, and what you have to do is you have to expand these hints into meaningful sentences, and you have to create write a story of your own, and you can write the story in the space provided here. So these are the exercises that are included in chapter 5 in your course book. So anyway, we have one more chapter yet to be finished, and that will be completed in the next session. Anyway, I think it's almost more than half an hour, so I think it's a time to wind up. Anyway, I hope that you got everything which we discussed today, so we can wind up the session now. Anyway, thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.